Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. All right, Doctrine and Covenants 63 verse 58. For this is a day of warning, and not a day of many words. For I, the Lord, am not to be mocked in the last days. I'm sharing that because this just happened on Sunday night, where you had the Golden Globes, and there was a bit where this comedian right here, the host of this year's Golden Globes, made a joke about God, and she pointed out that nobody thanked God, for their winning their awards and whatever. The whole thing was just like a big mockery, and I have some thoughts about that. You know that the Golden Globes, that takes place in Los Angeles, and we all know what's happening right now in Los Angeles. This is not a video to mock the victims, including celebrities. And the point of this video is not to say that, oh, this happened at the Golden Globes and therefore we have these fires. In my life, I've noticed, like in my personal life, I've noticed that it seems like the Lord operates on many different levels. He is transcendent. He operates in different dimensions, different spheres, and the way that he does things is so much more complex. His ways are not our ways. And so what I've noticed is that it feels like he will hit many birds with one stone. So when we see something like these fires going on, I think sometimes there's a tendency to simplify why it's happening. And I'm not so sure that it's so simple. I think there's a lot of different facets, but I do feel like this is kind of related. So I'm not going to go into like the complexity of it, but I feel like it could be related, although not the sole cause of what's going on. Maybe just a symptom of a much bigger problem, and it's manifesting. This particular one is manifesting at a critical time. So I found out about this from Mindy with Temples of Jesus channel. Make sure to subscribe to her. The link for her channel will be in the description box below. Also, she's the one that came up with this challenge that I'm participating in with my channel. There's other channels that are doing it too. This is similar to the Book of Mormon challenge that we were doing, but this time we're focusing on the temple. So go to the temple, do any ordinance, and then click the link. I'll have the link for this in each video. Click the link. It'll take you to this form, and you can say what temple you went to, if you want to provide that. Did you do initiatories, endowments, so on? And then she's given me access to the spreadsheet that she set up with the results. And so it's looking pretty good so far. So for baptisms, we have 362 reports of like the number of baptisms done. Initiatories, I'm looking at this bottom right. Like when I highlight the column, it'll show the sum in the bottom right. 145 initiatories, 59 endowments, and 111 sealings. That's a good number. So anyway, please consider going to the temple more and then participating in this challenge. Right now, the goal is to try and get 25,000 ordinances, like basically 5,000 of each, which would be like gathering 5 stakes in heaven. Okay, so the Wikipedia article for the 82nd Golden Globe Awards. The 82nd Golden Globe Awards was an annual award ceremony for excellence in film and American television productions of 2024. The winners were revealed during a live telecast aired on CBS on January 5th, 2025. So that was on a Sunday, which just kind of makes it even worse. But that was 2 days before this started. So the Palisades fire, it was like the first one, I believe, and it started on January 7th. And I do think that there's significant that it happened on the 7th. It's just a week before President Nelson's 7-year anniversary as president of the church. So those are interesting things to think about. But yeah, so he had this take place. This was picked up. Let me see. This was picked up by the Christian Broadcasting Network. They have an article. Okay, the title of it is "No Surprise in This Godless Town." Comedian jokes at Golden Globes that no stars, thank God. Nikki Glasser, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, Glaser, the comedian who played host of this year's Golden Globe Awards in Beverly Hills, joked Sunday that none of the evening's winners thank God for their success. At the halfway point of the star-studded show, Glasser said the acceptance speeches had been, quote-unquote, on fire. Now, this was before the fire started, but I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. There's different thoughts and theories as to what caused these fires and who may or may not have known ahead of time. I'm not going to get into that stuff. It's beyond the scope of my channel, but I don't know. Anyway, before looking at a tally of who winning celebrities had thanked upon receiving their prizes, with cast and crew members filing the number one spot. Okay, with cast and crew members filling the number one spot, followed by Moms and Access Hollywood host Mario Lopez. Quote, God, creator of the universe with zero mentions. No surprise in this godless town. Now, before I continue, you may be like, well, look, see, she's like roasting them for not giving things to God. So isn't that a good thing? Well, I don't know. I don't think I would joke about it. If Christ was there in that room, do you think that you'd make that kind of joke? I feel like it's kind of like passive aggressive, sort of. It's where, you get a dig in at somebody, in this case, God, but there's plausible deniability where you can be like, well, no, I was actually defending you. No, I think the whole thing was just a big mockery. It was a big mockery. At the very least, it was light-minded, not really thinking about, how you're talking about God. We're going to come back to this scripture in just a minute, by the way, because we're not done with this. I want to read what I have highlighted in blue right here. To the credit of the audience, though, after she says that part, no one really laughs. I can't tell, but it kind of feels like it gets a little uncomfortable in the room when she calls Hollywood a godless town. So I'm sure that there's plenty of actors here that do believe in God and don't really appreciate this kind of humor and mockery. But anyway, let's go back to the CBN article. The 40-year-old celebrity is receiving praise for her hosting and mockery of Hollywood. At another point during her performance Sunday night, Glaser poked fun at Catholicism, which I'm not a big fan of that too. You and I, well, most of my audience, we're not Catholics. We're members of a different church, but I still don't like religion being mocked. Whether it's Catholicism, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, I don't like it. Like, we should respect each other's beliefs, and it's not good to make fun. So, I don't know. So you had that happen. It reminds me of another story that I've already covered. This is from December 12th of 2023. So this was just a couple months after the war started in Israel. Turkish member of parliament has heart attack moments after saying Israel will suffer Allah's wrath. Let's read that really quick and just do a quick reminder. These are my old highlights. A Turkish lawmaker collapsed in parliament Tuesday, suffering a heart attack at the end of a live stream parliamentary speech in which he slammed Israel and said it wouldn't be able to, quote unquote, escape the wrath of Allah. Hassan Bitmez, 53, of the Conservative Felicity Party, delivered an address at the General Assembly of the Turkish Parliament, ending it by saying that, quote, we can perhaps hide from our conscience, but not from history. And by addressing the Jewish state, you will not escape the wrath of Allah. He then said, I salute you all, immediately before collapsing to the ground at the podium with his head hitting the floor. And then he later died. it's pretty dramatic. So we really got to be careful. Okay, let's move to the next thing. So there's a couple pictures making the rounds on social media. I'm just coming to this group. This is Temples Past and Present YouTube group. There's a post by Mike Sellers. I've seen this in multiple places, so I don't know who originally took this, but if you're the person that took this, please let me know, because I would like to add these to my Facebook page. I have an album called Temple Photos, where I'm collecting interesting photos of temples. Like we have the Kirtland Temple with the eclipse. I was there for that one. The aurora over all these temples. So if you have any, like if you have the rights, please let me know, because I would like to add them here, if you're okay with it. But here's the Los Angeles, California temple, and you see the smoke in the sky and in the background. And then there's this one as well. So the fire was within eyesight of the Los Angeles temple. It's kind of crazy. Somebody had sent me an email about the dedicatory prayer for the Los Angeles temple, and I'm sorry, the email was too long. I'm not going to be able to share it, but they pointed out that there was a part that asked for physical protection of the temple, and that isn't the case for every temple. I've checked. So surprisingly, it's not said for every temple, but it was for the Los Angeles temple. So that's kind of interesting. Let's go back to this scripture before I forget it. So with all that being said, for this is a day of warning and not a day of many words. For I, the Lord, am not to be mocked in the last days. Behold, I am from above, and my power lieth beneath. I am over all, and in all, and through all, and search all things. And the day cometh that all things shall be subject unto me. Behold, I am Alpha and Omega, even Jesus Christ. Wherefore, let all men beware how they take my name in their lips. So it wasn't so good here at the Golden Globes. For behold, verily I say that many there be who are under this condemnation, who use the name of the Lord and use it in vain, having not authority. Wherefore, let the church repent of their sins, and I, the Lord, will own them. Otherwise, they shall be cut off. Remember that which cometh from above is sacred, and must be spoken with care, and by constraint of the Spirit. And in this there is no condemnation. And ye receive the Spirit through prayer, wherefore without this there remaineth condemnation. All right. So we have the temple. As of right now, it's safe unless something really dramatic happens. There's a couple articles that have come out about all these different celebrities that have lost their homes, and we should feel bad for them, sympathy, pray. It doesn't matter who they are or how bad you think they are. We should pray for each other, and hopefully, if there's like the pride cycle going on, hopefully this will break the pride cycle and they'll change their ways. That's what we should hope for. We should hope for good for everybody, especially for their spiritual welfare. And the Lord deals with each of us individually, and we don't know the stories of all these people, their beliefs, their relationship with the Lord. So pray for them, pray for everybody that's being affected by this, whether there's property damage or not. There's a lot of different ways that people are affected by these fires. So anyway, it's a lot. All these people, their houses were either destroyed or damaged. There's another list here. So this one was Los Angeles Times. This one is the Washington Post. This one had a few other ones that I didn't see on the other list. So if you're interested in that, I'll put the links in the description box below. I'd also mentioned I did a live stream on Instagram. So make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I have additional content that I do there. I'm going to start to do, I think, live streams more on Instagram rather than YouTube. But I talked about the fact that there have been some landmarks that have been destroyed in the Los Angeles area, and here's a list of them. Some of the notable ones, you have Will Rogers Ranch House. He was an actor. Topanga Ranch Motel. It appeared on a TV show. Real in Malibu. And then you had this, the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. So before this video, I had done a video pointing out, like my first video about the fires, that Pacific Palisades, which is the other fire, there's a large Jewish population over there. Now, this is a different fire, also in the Los Angeles area, the Eaton fire, but it destroyed this synagogue. It's called the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. So I feel like both those things together are a sign, a Jewish specific sign. We've already talked about it. I've added it to this spreadsheet called Signs, Jewish Specific. You can access my spreadsheets anytime. The link is in the description box of each video. Over here to the right, I have my references, and then this is a timeline of really interesting things that seem like signs to me. So I already had this one on here, the Pacific Palisades fire, and how it happened where there's this large Jewish population, but then you also have this other fire. I thought that I had heard that this synagogue was not destroyed, but no, it was destroyed. So anyway, I have that here. You can look at the rest of these some other time, or just search on my channel. At some point, I've made a video about all this stuff that you see right here. And then for the Golden Globes, I want to keep track of this for the future. So I don't really have a good spot for it right now. If I had like more Hollywood signs, then I would maybe have a spreadsheet for Hollywood signs. But for right now, I'm just going to put it under Signs United States. This whole thing about the Golden Globes and then the fire happening 2 days later, I'm going to put it here for now. That may change in the future. This is the current situation. So the Pacific Palisades fire over here, the Eaton fire over here. So this is where that Jewish temple would have been destroyed. And then you have the other fires. These orange X's represent the starting point of those fires. So you got this one. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've heard from a number of officials that it's very unusual that this many fires would happen at the same time, which to my mind speaks to potentially, some of these, if not all of these, being human caused, whether it's terrorism or something else, I don't know. But it's not over. And actually, let me refresh this. So this is like a live map. Yeah, it changed a little bit just now. So the Palisades fire is now 8% contained. So, I mean, I guess that's better than 0. And then same with Eaton, although it's only 3% contained. The Kenneth fire, oh yeah, that's that one that's at the West Hills, I think is what it's called. 35% contained, so that's good. Hearst fire, 37, that's even better. And then Lydia, the Lydia's up here, 75% contained. So we're not done with this yet, but I don't know. These red areas are mandatory evacuation areas. The yellow are evacuation warning. So this is what it looks like as of right now. There was a fire that was in the Hollywood Hills right here, but they were able to, I don't know if it's still burning, but I know that they got it under control. It hasn't made any more, it hasn't progressed or advanced any further. So that's good. But this is still just a fluid situation, and we'll have to see what happens over the next few days. So prayers for Los Angeles. Please provide support if you can. If you're in this area, please stay safe and please don't do anything stupid. Pay attention to directions given by local authorities. But that's where we're at. So, okay. Well, that's going to be it for this one. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. Like this video if you liked it. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also, make sure to share it, and I'll talk to you guys later.